US Olympic track star Sha'Carri Richardson suspended for months after testing positive for marijuana. That was the headline that reignited a debate that has been simmering for years. According to various reports, most NBA and NFL players, and at least half the players in the NHL, use cannabis. And it's not just the professionals. A recent study found that more than 80% of cannabis users also like to work out. It seems the traditional image of cannabis users as couch potatoes is nothing more than a cliché. But could everything we thought we knew about cannabis and sports be wrong? As marijuana legalization sweeps across more countries and the debate surrounding athletes like Richardson continues to grow, we have to ask, can marijuana actually make you a better athlete? The use of performance-enhancing substances in sports is as ancient as sports itself. Legends from Scandinavian mythology speak of berserkers, warriors who consumed a powerful mixture called putotens that boosted their physical power but came with the risk of insanity. The ingredients reportedly included fly agaric mushrooms, sending them into a frenzy as they tore into battle. Fast forward to ancient Greece, where athletes competing in the original Olympics believed that consuming animal hearts and testicles would enhance their performance. Without modern-day testosterone supplements, they sought natural sources, hoping to harness the animal's vitality. Even in ancient Rome, athletes drank herbal infusions to bolster their strength before chariot races. The concept of using herbs or natural substances to gain an edge was already well established. So where does cannabis fit into this historical narrative of performance enhancers? The controversy surrounding cannabis in sports flared up when Sha'Carri Richardson was banned from the Tokyo Olympics after testing positive. Many questioned why it mattered if marijuana was legal in most US states. But legality isn't the concern. In elite sports, what matters is whether a substance is banned by the World Anti-Doping Agency or WADA. A host of perfectly legal substances can get athletes into trouble. Even something as innocuous as a poppy seed cake could lead to a positive doping test because poppy seeds contain trace amounts of morphine, which is on the banned list. WADA uses 3 criteria to determine whether a substance should be banned: if it enhances performance, poses a health risk, or violates the spirit of sport. Cannabis was added to WADA's list in 1998 after a Canadian gold medalist tested positive for it. But does it really meet these criteria? Despite its inclusion on the banned list, there's little scientific evidence that cannabis can actually make you a better, faster, or stronger athlete. If anything, early studies suggest the opposite. Cannabis is known to spike heart rates and increase blood pressure, potentially hampering an athlete's ability to exercise efficiently. However, there might be specific scenarios where cannabis could offer minor physical benefits. For instance, in sports requiring steady hands, like archery, some argue that cannabis might have a calming effect, similar to alcohol, which is also banned in these competitions. But solid scientific data to support these claims is almost non-existent. The World Anti-Doping Agency's 2011 study, which helped solidify cannabis's status on the banned list, argued that it could reduce anxiety and help athletes perform under pressure. This claim was based on previous scientific studies, including one by Dr. Wagner, who was quoted as describing cannabis as ergogenic, meaning performance-enhancing. But there's a twist. Dr. Wagner later stated he never made such claims, admitting, "That was like a throwaway line. I didn't imagine it would have an impact in the world of Olympics." This lack of concrete evidence exposes a core issue. Our understanding of cannabis and athletic performance has been more anecdotal than factual. The final criterion for WADA's decision is the spirit of sport. This is arguably the most subjective of the 3, as it delves into ethics rather than science. WADA's 2011 report argued that cannabis violated the spirit of sport because it was illegal in most parts of the world at the time, suggesting that athletes who used it were poor role models. However, society's stance on cannabis has since evolved. Today, cannabis is no longer illegal in large parts of the world. The laws that we, as a society, choose to enact reflect what we believe to be right and wrong. If society decides that cannabis use is acceptable, then athletes who use it can no longer be automatically seen as violating the spirit of sport. Essentially, the ethical argument against cannabis in sports is weakening as societal norms shift and the legal landscape changes. We're left in a gray area where cultural perceptions and scientific evidence do not yet align. So can marijuana make you a better athlete? The current consensus suggests that it probably cannot. There is little to no evidence that cannabis can enhance performance in the way other banned substances do. What it might do is increase the enjoyment of physical activity, which can be beneficial for some athletes. This is already being acknowledged by major sports leagues, which are gradually loosening their restrictions on cannabis use. It's not just an ethical shift, but also a business opportunity. Cannabis is a booming industry, and just as professional sports have made billions from alcohol endorsements, it may only be a matter of time before cannabis becomes a part of that sponsorship landscape. It's ironic to think that the same companies advocating for cannabis's inclusion in sports, on the grounds that it isn't performance-enhancing, could be the first to market it as a supplement to boost athletic prowess. The debate over cannabis in sports is far from over, but for now, one thing is clear. The relationship between marijuana, athletes, and performance is much more complex than we once thought. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of cannabis and athletic performance. If you enjoyed this video and want to stay informed on the latest in sports, health, and lifestyle, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Stay tuned for more thought-provoking content and let us know your thoughts on cannabis in sports in the comments below.